Splice is a 2009 horror film directed by Vincenzo Natali, starring Adrien, Brody and Sarah Polley. Polley and Brody play two cool scientists, who roll on chairs and eat pizza in a lab while trying to combine the DNA of different animals. The theme of the film is creating life, and this is played against the fact that Polley's character can't have children. They have some success and create a sort of giant maggot. From here they think it would be a good idea to step things up and whack some human DNA in the mix, along with some other animals like a kangaroo. Why a kangaroo? I don't know. The result is a small, bald, hoppy friend that Polley sees as a child she never had, and Brody, whose character has obviously seen a few movies like this in the past, thinks should be destroyed. There are heavy influences from films like The Fly and Frankenstein that aren't labelled or over heavy and don't need to be known to enjoy the film, but add to it if you do. When things get too heavy at work and hiding the creature is difficult, the sensible option to take it to a barn is made, because what's more secure than a barn? A barn that's on a farm where your character was abused as a child, of course. Yes, I think that cat's days are numbered as well. The film takes on other themes aside from the mad science, and a large portion of the plot development in the latter two-thirds is based around a strange love triangle that develops when the creature begins to develop beyond the hoppy little friend into a strange French-looking woman with a tail and legs that bend in all the wrong ways. This triangle ends up with the most misplaced scene in the film, as Brody, with very little motivation, has sex with the creature. Whilst this is needed to accelerate the plot, it just felt out of place. The final act is a fun but standard chase in the woods and showdown with the creature, who's undergone some more changes. Precisely what those changes are, you'll have to watch to find out. Before we end, I have to mention this guy. He's supposed to be the cliched corporate stooge and the real bad guy in the movie. But to be honest, I just felt bad for him. He's trying to do his job and stop people dicking around with human DNA. He gets no thanks for it and ends up on the receiving end. The film's left with an ambiguous ending, possibly hoping for a further sequel along the lines of The Fly 2. The CGI in this film is top notch and it's hard to see the seams. This is the kind of film where it would fall apart if the CGI did not meet the necessary standards to make the creature work. All in all, Splice is a nice, tight film to watch and doesn't get too laboured in its weird sex games, but ultimately gives sci-fi and horror fans plenty to see and doesn't hide too much behind the curtain. I recommend finding this on Amazon or a streaming service, as it doesn't often pop up on TV, and it's a good one to have in your collection.